More cuts to the government are on the way. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George live this morning with us from Washington to give us some updates and analysis. So,
morning, Blaine.
Good morning, Joe. As the president continues this cutback of the workforce, what kind of impact is this really having and going to have once it all really picks up steam?
Well, this next phase, which appears to be what the Department of Government Efficiency, President Trump, is going forward with, could be the most painful. Up until this point, you've had tens of thousands of employees in the federal government either lose their jobs through termination or by quitting on their own. Remember, about 75,000 federal workers nationwide took that buyout offer. You had thousands of probationary employees, usually employees 1-2 years of service in that particular agency. They've lost their jobs already. But DOGE has plans to save $1 trillion, maybe $2 trillion, and they have outlined what agencies across the board must do next. Agencies have until mid-March, March 13th or so, to submit their plans for what could be downsized. This is not just looking at, by the way, what employees and positions could be eliminated. It's also looking at the possibility of relocating where they're headquartered. President Trump has previously endorsed and reiterated this so yesterday that perhaps a government agency headquartered in D.C. could be headquartered in North Carolina or somewhere else. So it's not just involving the termination of employees. This is going to be a slow process, though. There's going to be another deadline in April. Full implementation by the end of September is what the Trump administration is expecting, Blaine. And if you're wondering why this may be a little slower process, it's likely designed, experts say, to survive legal challenges. There are ways for the federal government to downsize, but proper procedures must be followed when you're dealing with civil servants who've been in a position, let's say, for decades. You just can't do it overnight. So this next phase may be a little bit slower, but certainly has the potential to be even more painful to federal workers, more painful than what they've already endured, Blaine.
Joe, while we're talking about cutting costs here, one of the big issues for months, it was certainly talked about in the campaign, has been the soaring prices of things like eggs, something, a lot of us eat every day. So
yes,
is there going to be any movement on that? Talk about seeing those prices drop?
I think a lot of people have done sticker shock. I made eggplant parm for my wife over the weekend. Went and got eggs to do the little egg wash. It's expensive out there. The Trump administration this morning is committed to taking some action on a couple fronts. One, the U.S. Agriculture Secretary outlining in a Wall Street Journal op-ed that the administration could spend as much as $1 billion on fighting the high price of eggs. The big news is that they're planning on importing more eggs from other countries. And that's a big shift because the U.S. is considered an egg superpower. We don't import a lot of eggs in our country. Most of the eggs are grown by farmers right here in the U.S., but that is clearly what the U.S. Department of Agriculture is taking on as a new approach to try to bring down the cost of eggs at all of our grocery stores, which we've seen precipitously climb in recent months. So that's the big news from the Trump administration. Plans to import more eggs. Now the question is, when will prices go down? We'll follow it, Blaine.
Joe St. George live in Washington with us all now craving some eggplant parm. Thank you, sir. Coming up on 5:37 right now.
As government agencies continue their cuts, one of those departments impacted was Veterans Affairs. They announced around 1,400 or so employees were let go nationwide. So we reached out to the Hampton VA. They told us that there were cuts, but they didn't say how many. The local union representing them tells us, though, that it was 12. We spoke with one woman who says that she was one of those people, that she's been working as a secretary at the Hampton VA for about 10 months and says she got the email on Monday saying that her position was terminated. She says that she is a veteran herself and also pregnant.
It's stressful because although I am a veteran and I do receive certain benefits for my child, having that extra health insurance as a backup, I no longer have that. So now I have to go see what are my options.
In a statement to News 3, the acting director of the Hampton VA said of the cuts that this decision will have no negative effect on veteran health care benefits or other services and will allow the VA to focus more effectively on its core mission of serving veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors. Now, we also know that there have been instructions given to federal agencies to submit that information, what they did last week, to Elon Musk and the Doge team.
Also, the president ordering all federal cabinet positions to have a plan to cut costs by the middle of March.